Hey folks, I'm Aspen Arrow. Welcome back to RimWorld and the desert. We are cleaning up after Randy was feeling very sad that we were leaving, or at least getting pretty close. So we did get some mortars out of it. Go ahead and get those shells over here as well as the barrels. Smelt a bunch of that tainted gear for some additional steel. And go ahead and cremate the corpses, as I did go ahead and finally make a crematorium. And all the cloth gear just hang out there and rot. You can see the map looking pretty messed up. Next up, quite a few days have passed. We've done some trading. We've got some Silinks on Sezen. But not a whole lot going on as we rush to finish this monument. We have been making our bionic legs, so it is finally time to start getting those installed on people. We've fixed Cuz's ear. Get Rove a leg. Get Smith and Danny finally a bionic leg instead of their prosthetics. And alas, the peg leg trio will be no longer, as they will all have bionic legs. Should hopefully make getting around the map a little easier. We did pick up a bionic spine at some point. Haven't had a real reason to use it, so it's just hanging out. Next up, we continue working on Danny's throne room, trying to get it up to the required beauty. We did also need a piano. Fortunately, Smith came through with a very good one. I think we got masterwork to go with our legendary marble grand meditation throne. Unfortunately, it is still not enough to meet the requirements, just 4 points off. So am moving a bunch of the food out of the room as we were using it as backup storage. And we'll have to get a few statues. And as things progress, a few days later, Gavril and Four Eyes are now a couple. So, given that Forath and her husband have broken up, I guess our new couple can take over the double bed. Four Eyes still has not been converted. I think we have her down to about 30%, but she has been slow going with the convertibility. Her ideology does allow for her to share a bed, so hopefully they'll get a bit of a mood boost. And we can see that we are, I don't know, 3/4 of the way through building the monument, as it's time for a dug too deep infestation. We do have a turret right next to our drills to pull aggro. Shouldn't be too big of a deal either way. These are fairly small. You have Gavril, Danny in recovery after her surgery. We'll go ahead and keep Potato from running into the way. And pull everyone around so we don't get an accidental melee. Grab our little bot. Everyone just wants to be involved. And as anticipated, the bugs go right for the turret. They're pretty cheap, so might as well let them explode that instead of going to town on our colonists. Does blow open the wall of the temple, so we'll have to fix that, but no big deal. We've got stone lying around. We use the insect meat for kibble. We do still have a ton of animals, and it has still been one of our primary ways that we have been making money, is trading off the cows and dromedaries. Go ahead and put a granite wall here, so if it blows again, it hopefully doesn't blow the wall down again. You can see, unfortunately, it does give us the immediate debuff that everything is disrespected, but we are working on it as quick as possible. So it's more cleanup in the desert. Seems to be the theme. Hoping for some snow or rain to clean it up, as it sure is dirty outside. And while we clean up around the base, our new couple, already pregnant, first night together, and Four Eyes will be having baby number 3 for the colony. So that was fast. It moved very quickly. It is a baseliner. So we will have another baby on the way, but not before we have a cold snap. Fortunately, it did start snowing. You can see a few days later again. And since it was snowing, I had gone ahead and harvested all that we could, getting up the Devil Strand, which is probably our last crop. We'll not be here long enough, hopefully, to grow another round, but it lets us have some extra so we can replace dusters if we need to. Did also manage to pick up an excellent hyperweave duster for Cuz. And there it goes. Everything starts dying. We may run out of hay for the animals, but we should have enough food in storage. And you can see that our folks not very happy about the fact that it is cold out. But on this snowy day, Gavril has already proposed to Four Eyes. So a whirlwind romance resulting in a baby and a marriage to be. Well, that's enough good news for today. Let's have a raid. We have raids from the Itakeen with triple rocket launchers. You can see I'm very excited about that, mostly because I want to get hit by them. It is 3-prong, and there is a second triple rocket. We are again seeing sniper rifles. So the drill as usual, get everybody inside. Does look like that prong on the left side will stay just out of range enough that Gavril isn't going to be aggroed on. We do still have one ally. That is something else we've been working on, drop potting a bunch of gear and weapons and stuff over to people, trying to get a few allies. Gifting not as good as it used to be. It is a bit challenging to get allies. We do have the rituals to help, but it only helps so much. So our party will take on this first little cluster. Just 3. All that's left is a shotgun. Bowman here really taking quite a few shots. Sheen down now as well. And Baby Potato can now request some military aid because, well, they can take those triple rockets to the face rather than us. Do manage to get that triple rocket tied up in melee, so it does not go off, which is handy for our allies. And Lissa down here, I think we may have seen her once already, but always an excellent crafter, so worth grabbing if you can find her. And hey, a caravan arrives right next to the other pod of Itakeen. Pretty well armed. Doesn't change that they have a triple rocket launcher, but I imagine that this should be over shortly. And there it goes, taking out the camel and dropping some extra loot for us. Some glitter world, some gene packs, another TV, and components. allies doing work and take out the other pod. So a nice relaxing fight for us, and we didn't really have to participate, which works out well. 14 components, nothing to sneeze at. Also an Archite capsule. We are not doing gene stuff this time, so nothing too much to worry about. We'll go grab the loot, keep what we need, and drop pod the rest. We will try to rescue Travis here. Get the rep for making sure he gets off the map. As a drone settles over the snowy desert, Noise becomes age 13, making him a RimWorld adult. Did change his name to Mr., a pretty common one for me. I seem to get Mr. as a nickname, but we will change him back to Noise. Great Pawn, Sanguine, Jogger, up to doing really well. 7 in mining, 10 in cooking, 7 social. Medical coming along a bit and all right in shooting and melee. We will take Nimble, and we'll go ahead and take a melee passion as well. Does still have the weakened melee because he's an impid, and he also has small body size being 13, but maybe he can dodge something or it could come in handy in the future. And more days pass as we try to get this monument done. We did find some plasteel nearby, so making a little box to drill. We do have a fair amount of steel, and so anticipating that we will be fighting while the Stellark visits and don't want to be managing all these fields, we are going to go ahead and drop some hydroponics outside. We will set them up with a sun lamp, but we will not use it unless we end up getting something like a toxic fallout or volcanic winter. Just giving us some extra security because we also will be feeding extra people. A lot of today just trying to get that last bit of prep done so that we are ready for the final fights as we protect the Stellar. We are also mining some jade to get some jade sculptures into Danny's throne room. Hopefully getting those last few points for her final rank of royalty. This will use up the bulk of our steel, but that is all right. There is still some on the map, and we have better miners, so we can also send the little lifter bots out to pick up the steel. We'll likely consider putting in a second round of hydroponics, but for now, we'll just get the one going. Gavril and Mila into a social fight. Disrespecting Gavril's uncle's medical skill. That's probably not what I would have picked to insult based on this episode, but you know. I guess Mila's very open about the relationship and quickness at which it progressed. 4 Eyes already into second trimester. And with just a few more seconds, our little bot finishes the monument. And finally, we get 441 plasteel and 3 healer mech serums. Make sure those get inside. Will also be helpful to have the extra in case someone gets a brain injury or something else happens as we try to finish up. You can see even now 4 Eyes still not converted. An iguana self-tames. Not sure what we'll do with it, but it has tamed. You can come hang out, I suppose. Sezen gets a Psylink, up now to level 4 or 5, getting Smoke Pop. We have continued to get everyone Psylinks throughout the series, but once you've seen one, you've sort of seen them all. We do still rely largely on Kuz and Forath for our Psy casting. Danny, unfortunately, just not getting any very good ones. Did get that sensitizer though, which helps our other gals. Should probably look for another one. Plenty of jade. Hopefully 2 more statues will do the trick. And that our throne room will be ready to go. I've also got an extra royal bed to be made and stored, as we will need the bedroom for the Stellark. Fortunately, our construction does not require that we protect it, so we can actually take all that marble. We can't take the flagstone, but we can take a lot of the marble and convert that into the Stellark's bedroom flooring for the fine floors. And with that, it is finally time to administer a healer mech serum for Fantasia the dog, who lost her jaw way back on the first day of the run, who has made it this far, and whose bonded owner, Sezen, will now administer the healer mech serum, and we're gonna hope that it fixes her jaw, because if it doesn't, I don't know of anything else that works in the base game. And there it is. Fantasia's jaw has been restored, and we completed an absolutely ridiculous building to do it. But hey, that's what the story's for. Thank you so much for joining me today in RimWorld. If you are enjoying the series, I do hope you'll consider liking and subscribing. As always, have a pleasant day, and I'll see you next time.